my turn to speak now. And then, I know many scouts at this point like to try to thank people, but I had so many people throughout our troop that I just don't think I could even start to touch on it. So I decided with this time I'd rather reflect on my side of what I've gone through. From the very beginning, and when I was the only tiger cub in my troop for a couple months, and I was running around with my friends like, hey, this is really cool, you can come join and stuff. And I finally got a couple of my friends to help me, joined up, and we had a lot of fun together. And I remember a lot of my Cub Scout time was spent going to all the meetings. If you, in the back, I've got a red vest with all the awards around them, and I was very active in working on those awards, and we were constantly doing things like that. But I remember a lot of a couple of the trips we did. You saw some pictures from Mama at Crystal Mountain. I remember going there, and I had a dream catcher on one of the hills back there that I remember building, making while I was there. I also remember a couple trips to Camp Brinkley, where my den went, and I remember in the middle of the night running around through the woods playing cat flag, and of course. But once I joined Boy Scouts in 5th grade, I kind of started to get a little more into it. I tried to go to every single outing I possibly could. I think in the first couple of years I missed maybe 2 or 3 of the outings. I didn't want to miss out on anything. I remember before an outing, I was deciding, well, do I really want to go, or should I stay home? And I was like, well, what if something happens and I miss it? So I tried to go to a lot of them I could. And at this point, I knew what was out there in scouting. I knew about the Eagle rank, and I knew kind of what it meant. And it took a lot of work to get there, but it seemed so distant. I mean, it was 5 years ahead. So I didn't really worry about it too much. But through the experience there, I remember in the early years, I remember doing a lot of car camping, going to Toll McDonald Park, doing a merit badge weekend, doing different advancement things. I know there was a picture up there where I was on the ground and we were doing simulating an electric shock. And I was playing the victim. So I remember doing stuff like that. Just having fun with all the older scouts. I remember Troy was there, and I remember him being quite pyro. always made the campfire interesting. And just little memories like that, every once in a while I still reflect back on and remember how good experience I had. I try to think back, like when I was younger, what did I look up on? What were the cool things that the older scouts did, and how can I build on that? How can I share my experiences with them? Teach them what I have learned over the years. Be known in my own way for being that guy that brought that cool thing or did that. Just things like that. And, after a couple years, I reached the rank of 1st class, which is one of the major stepping stones. After that, you can go high adventure. I went to the 3 of the national BSA high adventures. I've got maps on the wall over there from my treks I took. Those were probably some of my favorite trips I did. The crews were great. For the most part, we got along. And I remember a lot from those trips. And I often get asked what my favorite part about them is. And it's usually, my answer includes, well, they all had their own special piece that I remember. Briefly go over some of those. My first one I went to here. It's up in Minnesota area. I remember from that, after the first day where we finally got into Canada and got away from the people, for the next like 4 days, there was nothing. I mean, around here you can go up in the mountains and sure you're alone, but there's still planes flying overhead. And you can still tell civilization is there. But up here, there were no planes flying overhead. It was just our crew, the water, and the animals and the trees. We were alone. The second one I did was Philmont, and that was pretty much the exact opposite of being alone. Miss Manolik and Zach were on that trip with me. I think Mr. Kaiser. But I remember from that, they were prepared, which is, and it's only a good thing, because I got to talk to people from other areas, got to kind of figure out kind of what Boy Scouting was like on the East Coast and all over the place. And We got to talk to a lot of different people and kind of expand our views that way. The third one I went to was Sea Base, which than the rest. It's down in Florida. You saw some ships of, or some pictures of the ship with all the sails on it. We were on that boat for a week. It was quite a bit less work than the other trips, but I remember still, it was hard to sunbathe because it was hot and humid, which I don't like. And then I remember stopping at one point, and our first mate who was helping run the boat was getting a little seasick, so she was taking a while getting into the water. So here we all are in our life vests and flippers and masks and stuff on, sitting there sweating, dying, ready to jump into the water. We had quite a large crew on that, I think about 20 people, something like that. And I remember running through Key West in little groups, and you running them here and there, and there were scouts going everywhere. I spent my 16th birthday in Key West that year. It was a little bit different than usual. Usually it seems I spend a lot of my birthdays out on the trail with scouting. It's right in the end of August, and usually the troop is trying to cram one last event in. I remember that was one of the more special ones because it was all the way in Florida. Key line high instead. But to move on. I didn't just do the high adventure, the national high adventure bases. I also the troop pretty much every summer tries to plan its own, just within the troop type treks. I remember probably my favorite hike I have yet to do was we hiked from Mount Adams to White Pass. It was about a little bit over 50 miles. It was just over 50 miles. It was about 6 days.